Do you say out of habit when you forgot what you were about to say or when you're nervous? Would you like to learn the authority nod to help you eliminate speaking fillers? If you would, stay tuned. I'd like to help you learn it. My name is Dr. Shalonda Johnson. I am a public speaking coach. It is an honor for me to help people learn to transform their concerns with public speaking into confidence to give a speech successfully. And one of the most important aspects of a successful speaker is their fluency. That's why I created a technique called the authority nod. Are you ready to learn it? Hit the like button if this information is helpful for you, and subscribe to my channel because I give great tips all the time to help people learn to become confident public speakers. Let's get started with the authority nod. As you are on your journey to learn to eliminate speaking fillers from your communication style, we will talk about three things in this conversation. First, what are speaking fillers? Then, why do so many people incorporate speaking fillers into their communication behaviors? And finally, we'll get to the good part, the authority nod, the technique I created to help you learn to eliminate speaking fillers from your communication behavior. Let's first talk about what are speaking fillers. Most people instantly think of two sounds, and that's 100% correct. Did you know the technical term for speaking fillers is disfluencies? Disfluencies are any sound, utterance, word, or phrase that disrupts the fluency of a message. You take the prefix dis from disrupt, add it to the word fluency, and you have the term disfluency. As we just pointed out, some of the more common disfluencies include and Another common disfluency is like. You know, it's also a common disfluency. Here are some less obvious but common disfluencies. So, that was my personal disfluency I had to learn to eliminate from my communication behaviors. Another one is the term or the word that. That, when used out of context, becomes a speaking filler. Why are disfluencies common? One argument I hear often in defense of disfluencies is it makes the conversation sound more natural. At the same time, when said too frequently, they do become a distraction. I personally have been in meetings or small group settings where one person is talking and they say so often the other people around start to mark how many times they say and get no real value from the actual message. We don't want that happening to us, which is why we're learning to eliminate disfluencies when we are speaking in every day so that it becomes a habit. Speaking of habit, that's one of the main reasons people interject disfluencies so often. It is a habit. It is a habit, bottom line. Another reason why people interject disfluencies so often is because they've forgotten what they were about to say, and the disfluency holds the place for that silence. A third reason people interject disfluencies regularly is because they're experiencing an altered emotional state. Nervousness, excitement, anger, high levels of joy, those all contribute to people interjecting disfluencies regularly. At the same time, they can be controlled. They can be controlled under any circumstances. We can learn to eliminate disfluencies, which is why I created a technique called the authority nod. There are three important steps to the authority nod. First, you have to become familiar with your speaking rhythm and what you consider a complete thought to be for you. For some people, they'll start a sentence, and in the middle of a sentence, they're likely to interject a disfluency and finish the sentence. Well, for people who start sentences and interject a disfluency in the middle of the sentence, the start of that sentence is a complete thought for them. For other people, they'll complete an entire sentence, and at the beginning of the next sentence is where they are likely to interject a disfluency. The complete sentence is a complete thought for those people. Then there are those people who can say 2 or 3 sentences as a complete thought, and after about 2 or 3 sentences, they will interject a disfluency. For those folks, 2 or 3 sentences is a complete thought. The point is, become familiar with your personal speaking rhythm. That's the first important step, becoming aware of your speaking rhythm. After you become aware of your speaking rhythm, the second step to the authority nod is to purposely slightly lift your chin. Like that. I'll give you an example. For me, a complete sentence is a complete thought. As I finish a sentence and I'm getting prepared to move on to the next sentence, I will lift my chin a little. Lifting the chin has an important function. It helps to reinforce an air of confidence for you and for the person listening. It helps to ensure that you know that you are in control of what you intend to say next. The third step is to take in a slight deep breath. The deep breath helps to incorporate an appropriate length pause. The pause is important. The pause is important because it gives you an opportunity to collect your thoughts and be intentional about the very next word you plan to say. And it also reinforces a level of control for you. That's the 3 steps to the authority nod. Number 1, become familiar with what you consider a complete thought to be for you. Second, lift your chin. Third, take in a deep breath. After you take in your deep breath, move on to your next sentence and deliberately start with the first word of your next sentence. Those are the 3 steps to the authority nod to help you eliminate disfluencies from your communication behavior. Give it a try for 30 days. Anything we do for 30 days becomes a habit. Initially, it'll feel unnatural and robotic because you'll have to think about it, but when you keep practicing it, it'll become a habit for you and it will replace those disfluencies.